Who's that coming down the track? That would be Caden Proctor.
Jordan Hair Voodoo.
Ooh. I'm going to rip that jersey off your face and throw it out the window.
Okay, so we have a packed show for you guys tonight here on the House Divided college football show. So we're going to get into recaps from last week. We're going to make some game predictions, and that's going to kind of be the gist this week, and we're going to do it in record time. So here we go, folks. Today, everybody, Henley has replaced Ethan as my co-host. Obviously, I have to start with the most important game of the weekend, and that would be the Auburn-Texas A&M game. Now, Ethan, you'd usually be here to rebuttal me, but since Ethan's not here, here's my take on the game. Auburn played like absolute garbage. They got pushed around. They could not do it, could not convert. They ended up being Josh Pate's Sarah McLaughlin special this week. They just could not get things done. They looked embarrassing. I don't know if Jackson Arnold's your QB. May want to try Deuce Knight. May look for a new coach. Hugh Freeze. He's got this Jack's Burger going on, this cheeseburger, and I don't know if it's going to last long. Hugh Freeze, get off the golf course, get on a plane, and find a new job. Henley, what do you think about the games? That's a good comment, Henley. Okay, before we get into the actual games, you guys may have seen this picture right here from College Game Day. I'm going to tell my kids this was the Backstreet Boys. Okay, if you guys saw the Alabama game, Alabama beat Georgia. They destroyed the 33 win streak. The first time that Georgia has lost a game since 2019 at home. That was back before COVID. And Georgia has been walked. Alabama dog walked Georgia. We've got so many crazy things to talk about. We got my boy Ty Simpson. You can call him Tyrone. It was awesome. We got this cool, awesome clip of Caden Proctor just mowing people down, and he was going in, and he almost scored, but it was an awesome, awesome play. Alabama really showed that they could stay in a fight. The defense looked good. The offense looked good. They didn't score any in the fourth quarter. They were able to hold Georgia to a 4th and 1 and stop them from kicking a field goal. And then they were able to both kind of have a defensive fight to keep the score with a final score of 24-21, as you guys can see. And it was awesome. We can say that Alabama is Georgia's daddy. As you can see, even Kalen DeBoer is Kirby's daddy. Also, we can prove that the Kalen DeBoer black hoodie is effective. It works. DeBoer, keep wearing the hoodie. We need it to win. Big game tomorrow against Vandy. Honestly think that that'll be a big one. He needs to wear the black hoodie. Also, we had one man who believed in us, and he believed it in his heart, and that was Nick Saban, who picked us on College Game Day to win. Everybody else picked Georgia. Nick stayed true, so thank you, Nick Saban. And we even have an appearance of our boy, Leroy Jenkins. Also, we saw Dan Lanning get the job done at Penn State. They stopped the Penn State whiteout. We had the fans come out. Oregon was out in the middle of the whiteout with a guy right here. They ended up winning that game. Dan Lanning did a great job. Now, Penn State, I think you're crazy because this should not be all on James Franklin and Drew Aller. Now, it was a good game. It was a 3-3 game until the fourth quarter, and it became a 17-17 game. Went to, I believe, double overtime, and then they were able to pull away. Oregon won, and they were chanting to fire James Franklin. Like I said, James Franklin can't win the big games, but he is not a bad coach, guys. He's going to hopefully figure it out and maybe even make the playoff if they can stay good. It's just one loss. Oregon is a great team. Dan Lanning is a good coach. And I believe all around that you guys are just overreacting to this. Do not fire James Franklin. He's great. But Dan Lanning is amazing. Just look at the Nick Saban coaching tree. Come on, guys. He's one of ours. Okay, guys, we also saw the Fighting Illini get the job done as well. They bounced back. They beat USC. Lincoln Riley could not do it. He disappointed me. Should not have picked him without Miller Moss. I just don't think they can do it like they were able to do it. But yeah, the Fighting Illini had a better Fighting O-line and a better Fighting D-line this week, just like I suggested they needed to have last week. So yeah, that's good. We saw FSU lose to Virginia at Virginia. Virginia rushed the field after. It was a crazy play. They called a touchdown back in overtime. It is a questionable play in the ACC, maybe an egregious call. And yeah, it was just insane. But yeah, they rushed the field, and it was an incredible upset for Virginia over FSU. Now, you say as a Bama fan, how does it affect us? We beat Georgia, so it no longer matters. We had that FSU loss test us, and I think that set us to play with an edge that is going to push us forward going forward into the season as Bama. Okay, so we are on to our last two recaps of the week, and that would be the Ole Miss game against LSU, where they were able to get the win, and then also Notre Dame beating Arkansas. So, with the Notre Dame Arkansas game, they were able to turn bacon bits into bacon grease. Notre Dame was able to keep it alive and stay in the hopes of getting in the college football playoff. They were up against the wall with a 10-2 floor. I mean, they were up against the wall with a 10-2 expectation season to stay in the playoff. If they lose any more games, that brings it down to a potentially 9-3 finishing season, which we do not want for Notre Dame. If Notre Dame wants to get in the playoff, they have to stay alive. Arkansas, you looked bad. They fired Sam Pittman and they got back Bobby Petrino. That is crazy. Bobby Petrino was the offensive coordinator. Now he's the interim coach, and he's in the running to be the coach again. And that is crazy for the college football world. And I just don't want to know what you do, Arkansas. But maybe you guys figure it out, and maybe there's hope in the future. He did fire a lot of the defensive staff recently. With Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, coaching legend and internet troll, was able to get the win and took the over against LSU's Brian Kelly, Garrett Nussmeier, and Whit Weeks. Here's a picture of Whit Weeks throwing up. He could not handle the pressure of the game. Also, guys, with the Ole Miss game, Trinidad Chambliss looked amazing out there. He is a great player. Expecting great things from him in Ole Miss. Hope that they have a great game this week. But also, I've heard crazy things coming up. John Mateer is expected to potentially be playing after his successful thumb surgery and recovery, where he injured in the Auburn game against Texas next week. That is the hope that he will be available for the Red River Shootout next Saturday, and we'll be predicting that game next week. So stay tuned, and that's going to be awesome. Ole Miss was able to get the win at home in Oxford against LSU, knocking them off and claiming a top AP spot that will put Ole Miss in a good position for the weeks to come. Lane Kiffin, you got the job done, and congrats. Okay, guys, we have 5 big games I'm going to talk about this weekend. First, we're going to start out with Nebraska, Michigan State. I think Nebraska will get the job done. I think that Matt Rhule and Dylan Raiola will bounce back, and they will be able to accomplish what they need to accomplish to push them towards when they play USC and then when they play Penn State later this season. I think that they can get the job done, they can stay on top, and that they can turn the season and hopefully maybe to knock on the doors of the playoff. I still believe in Matt Rhule. I still believe in Dylan Raiola. Nebraska still looks good. Just because they couldn't beat Michigan does not mean that they don't look like a good team. They are right there on the precipice of greatness. So, guys, keep pushing hard and believe in yourselves and just fix the things and just keep learning and growing. Okay, guys, we also have Mississippi State going to College Station to play Texas A&M. Mississippi State is 4-1 so far against A&M, who was undefeated. One of these teams will either lose the game or win the game. That's when we got to play them to see who will win. That's why God makes us play the games, as Josh Pates Meemaw says. So, with that being said, I think that Texas A&M will end up winning this one. I think it'll be a good game. I really hope that Mississippi State's able to put it in. I hope the cowbell works because they need more cowbell.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
I am hoping that A&M looks like a good team. I've got good expectations for them. Mike Elko has built a legendary team, and they are putting what is on paper with the roster. They're putting it on the field, and they're looking amazing. But Mississippi State, you guys look great too. Okay, we have Florida State, Miami, big game, big ranked game to control who controls the state of Florida. I honestly think that FSU will put up a fight. I think they will cover the spread. I think Miami wins. I think Carson Beck and Miami are probably one of the best teams in college football right now. They look great, but I think that FSU will definitely put up a fight. I think Gus and Tommy Castellanos will get it done, and they'll be able to stay in that fight. But I don't think they're going to win. But they definitely will cover that spread, like I'm saying. And then we also have another big game in Florida that is going to be Florida versus Texas. Texas is coming to the Swamp. We'll have Arch Manning versus DJ Lagway. And I am actually going to go and say this could be a potential upset. This could keep Billy Napier's job if they win. If not, he will be fired on Sunday. I do think that he will be getting fired soon, if not Sunday. I think that if DJ Lagway and Florida can get it together, there's a chance they could beat it. Arch Manning has not looked very great this year. I think the pressure's getting to him, but I could be wrong. Maybe Arch is starting to figure it out. We saw him against Sam Houston. And honestly, maybe they get it done. But I'm going to pick Florida to have the upset at home in the Swamp. I know that's a weird thing to say that they're going to get the upset at home, but I think they'll get it done, and I think it will be a fun game to watch. Okay, guys, this is the big game of the week, in my opinion. And no, Auburn is not playing this week. We are not going to be talking about them. They are on bye week. I don't even know if you can call it bye week bliss, but they are on a bye week. But Alabama, top 10 Alabama after beating Georgia, is going to be playing for the first time. They are having a ranked matchup since 1937. We have number 16 Vanderbilt coming to Tuscaloosa. We've got College Game Day coming to Tuscaloosa. Um, we are going to be on the road at Tuscaloosa there, and it is going to be a great game. We're going to be watching it live. I'm excited. I think that Alabama will win. Roll Tide. Um, I honestly, we're coming after Diego Pavia. He's a great player nonetheless. They've got Theo Vaughn guest picking on College Game Day. It's going to be a great time, and I honestly think that he will put up a fight. Diego Pavia, he's a great player. I definitely think that Vandy will. It'll be probably a one score, maybe like 7 to 10 point game. I think they will stay in it, but Bama will pull out the win. Bama was in the spot last year, but I think it's different. They're playing with an edge. They know what to expect. This isn't your mom's Vandy. I honestly think that Alabama, like I said, is going to win this game, but it will be a fun game. It's going to be one of those crazy matchup games that we have not seen in a long time between these two teams. Vanderbilt is on the rise, and that is incredible. Henley, what is your take on the Alabama Vanderbilt game?
Well, I'm a little feisty about it. I'm mad. I think that Bama should lose and Vandy should win. I'm a huge Vandy fan. If you were to ask me when Vandy wins, what should I do? Throw the goalpost into Denny Chimes. Throw it.
Okay, unfortunately, guys, Henley has been removed from the House Divided College Football Show until further notice because she was being violent as a Vanderbilt fan. So we have removed her forcefully, and she's not going to be allowed back on the studio premises until then. Hopefully, we'll have Ethan back sometime soon. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching the House Divided College Football Show. This one has been a little shorter, a little condensed, but I've gotten my points out. We will see you guys later. Next week, we will be recapping the Alabama Vanderbilt game and going to that game. And then also, we will be preparing for big games like Red River and then the Auburn, Georgia game. So until then, guys, have a great one and a Roll Tide.